Girl, what up? Oh, yes.
So, we finished looking at your book report, and we're a little disappointed. We really expected more effort.
But I love Beverly Cleary.
What up,
Let's
viewers?
face
It's
it.
Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Welcome to the dish. We missed you. Thank you for being here.
This is the dish.
We are, oh, nice. We
That's
are
it.
here. We are queer. Get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
We're so excited to be back with you. We can't wait to do more in-person shows. Shouts to everyone at Villain Theater in Miami for our incredible Miami show on Saturday. And Eileen Galvin's Miami debut.
It was so much fun. I loved everyone at Villain Theater. I felt so welcomed, and the audience was amazing. So, also, I love the format of a burlesque talk show. Like, girl,
Yes.
you know what I love even more than taking my clothes off in front of strangers? Talking to them afterwards. That is super
About
fun.
taking my clothes off in front of strangers.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's all Tonight with Tarek. If you haven't checked out Tonight with Tarek and you are in or around Miami at any point, come through. It's a fabulous, fabulous talk show. And like Eileen said, you'll see some nip and talk about it. Wins.
Okay, but let's talk about it. Yeah. So girl, what are we talking about tonight?
Girl, we are talking about something so apropos. I'm mad about it.
Near and dear to
It
our
is-
hearts.
It is the age issue. And I have to say, I really fucked up my lower back. I got the heating pad on it. I got some chamomile tea.
Mm-hmm.
I took some Motrin, otherwise known as ibuprofen. If you like that off-brand shit, we do. We love a generic. It's Kirkland brand. What up, Costco?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get through the day. And this wasn't even really about dating me, who's an old person. It was just about age differences. But I feel like we can start here because age is catching up with me, girl. 2 nights out after midnight with you.
I know.
And I am like, I need to take a week off.
Okay, well, it wasn't just 2 nights. It was also like a night out in the neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale. So like, it's the advanced course. You know what I mean? Like,
It's 205. It's not 101.
Exactly. Like, why go to one
There
club
was
when you can go to
prereqs.
4? But no, it was so much fun, and I think at one point we were all out, and we were like, oh, I don't want to cut off the night early for the rest of the folks. So we were all like going up to
But
the
we're
bar,
all thinking it.
pretending that we wanted a drink, and it was like, what do you want? And they're like, just a club soda, and then it was like, oh, I don't want anything either. Do you just want to go home? And it was this really funny moment of like, we're all in the same boat where we're like, yeah, at some point, this isn't leaving when we're having a good time. We're just old. We just wanna go to bed.
It was so funny. I like optimistically did our parking until 1 a.m. Because I was just like, I just don't want to deal with it. And that's also a sign you're old. When you're young, you're like, no, we'll just do an hour and then 2 hours and then 3 because you don't want to pay too much. But now I'm just like, no, I don't want a ticket. So we were in bed before the parking expired. And I woke up at 6 a.m. for my workout. And I was like, what's this notification? Oh, it's my parking. Like, that's how old we are. That I was already in bed by the time the parking expired.
That's how old we are. Speaking of that's how old we are, get into this, like, permanent substitute teacher realness.
Oh, girl, a jean jumper. Give us a stand. Rebecca Reeves, have a stand.
I would call this a jean pinafore dress. And what's really fun about this is all of the hardware. So I love the pleats in the front. I love the pockets to hold all of the snacks for third period, because because Miss Eileen's class tends to get hungry. So I just keep like fruit snacks in here.
Yes, fruit leather.
And
you look like the kind of substitute teacher who makes your own fruit leather.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My own fruit leather.
Yes.
I've never had fruit leather, but I like the sound.
Well, it's like, no, you make your own like fruit roll-ups, but like you just dehydrate fruit in a dehydrator.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very granola.
Just put
so
it, like,
how
through
long
a
is it?
laminator. So it's a very sensible like mid-calf sort of length.
Yeah.
So it's a touch of cat lady, like sexy cat lady teacher. And the really fun thing about it is that it is a wrap back dress.
Oh.
So most wrap dresses are in the front, but this one wraps around and the belt kind of tightens with this little D ring.
Where did you get this?
So that's you have to wear leggings with it. Otherwise, you're like setting yourself up for it.
You know what? That's a great dress for assholes.
Oh, now that you said that. Because
you could undo, you know what I mean?
I feel an art teacher look coming on, you know?
Yes, and you could do it to hot for teacher.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. I mean, with these glasses, like, how have I not done a teacher number already, right?
Oh my God, I have these glasses too. I feel like I automatically just feel like
oh my God.
I have to like be like just
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no not sexy way to wear these glasses. They're just extremely ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I have to say, you got me this this lip color for my birthday, which I absolutely love. And I feel like this nude lip color is just subdued enough for, like, grading papers. So
it's perfect.
It really completed this whole teacher look. So thank you so much for my
I'm typically wearing, I'm changing it up tonight, and I'm wearing black and red lipstick.
We love the range. We love to see.
Wait, but I'm so grouchy, so I'm like queer Sith Lord because I'm in pain.
Yeah.
So I have my hood on.
Yes, you do look like Empress.
Top.
Yeah, you look like Femme Palpatine.
Yes, Femme Palpatine would be a great drag name. And I'm just done. I'm done with age. So,
I'm done with age. I stopped. I'm over it.
Oh.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, tell me about it.
Girl, so after our show, we did a time-honored tradition, which was drive-through fast food and Bob's Burgers. And let me tell you, I swore off Taco Bell a while ago, and I was like, I just want to relive my 20s. You know, I'm on vacation. I want to relive it. And I went all in. I got a chicken Crunchwrap Supreme and a beef Crunchwrap Supreme. And
yes!
when I tell you the food hangover was unreal, my body was like, ma'am, we need to rethink some choices.
Ma'am, trans. You know what it is? Here's the thing. I will say I have an advantage. It's also it's an incredible disadvantage. But when you don't eat meat or cheese, your fast food options at night are so limited. Mm-hmm. So like, I got a bean burrito, no cheese. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm mad at myself. Yeah. But I will say, like, if it's a little bit earlier, there's some really good places down here with fast food fish. Like, really, really, really good. That's the thing about Florida. Florida does fast food really well, but, like, it's not chains. It's just like, oh, that guy. You know that guy in the plaza?
Yeah, yeah.
He has a convenience store. He also makes fish. And you're like, what? And you're like, this is the best fish I've ever had.
Super niche, but it's so fresh and so delicious. That reminds me of, like, Junior's Taco Truck down on, like, 6th and wherever that is down in Victorian Village. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah, we have some really good taco trucks here.
Mm-hmm, we do.
So, girl, talk to me about age, because you have... You know,
is age just a number?
I cite you in conversations about age difference.
Uh-oh.
Seriously. Like, you are my footnote. When people are like, oh, I'm dating someone, we're a few years apart, and I'm like, how many is a few? And they're like, oh, 6. And I'm like, well, first of all, a few isn't 6. So we can just get through that. A few is 2 or 3. We all know what that means. Stretch it on 4.
Yeah, yeah.
But my best friend has been in a partnership for over a decade with someone who is over 30 years her senior, and they are incredibly successful at partnership. Regardless of what you think, I think you also, have a lot in common and have other things. I don't think you can just take a look and say, oh, age doesn't matter, because I think it does matter. But I do think that people get caught up on age really easily.
Yeah. We're like Chris and Dawn Isherwood. You ever seen that movie, Chris and Dawn? It's very sweet. No. The guy who wrote Cabaret, Chris Isherwood, and he was with someone who was 30 years younger than him, and they were gay. It was very cute. And no, I'm sorry. Am I thinking of the Tom of Finland movie? No, that's separate. I watch a lot of gay biopics. But anyway, let me get back to the topic. So we met. We met when I was like 21 going on 22, and he was in his 50s, and I was not, so I liked daddies, as you know, girl, but She
likes Wilton Manors, everybody. She likes Wilton Manors. If you don't know what Wilton Manors is, Google it. Google it.
I like a distinguished older gentleman, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but it's not just that I like that, it's that we actually did fall in love as individuals, right? So,
Right.
The thing that I will not try to tell you otherwise about is that you are, if you have an intergenerational relationship, you're in two different phases of your life. So there are some things that you have to have conversations about, because you might have one perspective and the other person might have a completely other perspective about work, where you're at in your career, or health issues, or I just supported my partner as his father was declining for many years. And that's something that you don't like sign on for when you start a relationship. So you have to approach it with a lot of patience and understanding, and a good solid foundation of communication. So,
Well, and I think, that's the thing is, for the example, like the declining parent, like while you hope that's much later in life, it might not be.
Right.
Like that's the thing. Everybody kind of signs on to be like, here's the bullshit. What are we dealing with? Is it unemployment? Is it a dying family member? Like, what are the things?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like at a certain age, though, they hit harder and they're deeper, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's everybody loses a parent. It's universal.
Yeah.
But it's more likely, right, that those will kind of hit in the older generation, right? Mm-hmm. You're just not managing that as much. And I think like even managing the issues around what, I mean, I've met your partner multiple times, and we just openly talk about retirement, and I worked briefly in, finance and retirement. So I have a pretty good acumen in terms of like the basics on just talking about it. But I can count on one hand the number of people I hung out with in my 20s that I talked to retirement about. And one of them is your partner. Like, not because he was like bringing it up at bars, but it's just like, it was where he was in life. He was thinking about when he was going to retire and what he was going to, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it also kind of, I like it because it kind of gets you out of your own pattern and your own perspective. And you don't even need a huge age difference for that in friend groups. But I think it can really like help you think about life in a different way.
Yeah. This might sound kind of trite, but I'm kind of an old soul. He's kind of a young soul. So like you sort of meet in the middle. Like that's the part where
you definitely are an old soul. You've been here, girl. You've been here a few times around. Like I just feel like you were 5, like smoking a cigarette on the playground.
Yeah. I was.
Here we go again.
But let me tell you about my past lives, honey. Yeah, I love Katya's like old voice. It's like, hey, honey, like I love that.
You're just like, ABCs again. Here we go.
Yeah,
like,
the old fish from SpongeBob.
So...
Like I remember when they first invented chocolate. That's. I played old in high school theater. Of course, most of the roles were men, but like I loved playing.
I always played old. I played Yenta in Fiddler on the Roof. I played Bertha in Pippin. I played the witch in Into the Woods. I played every old bitch. They're like, get Brooke in here. And I'm like, is it because I'm just a chunky little bug with a good voice?
No, we're funny. We're character actors. It's like in school, it's either two things. Brief aside for like, public school theater. If you are, well, probably private school too, like whatever, just school theater. You went to Catholic school, so where was I going with this? You're either like the main character, like main cast, and that's fine. Like we love a main cast, but we are very interesting people, Brooke. We're very complex people. And so like no one should be surprised that we were like character actors, No. We were like the out of work Shakespearean actors. We were the gay characters. We were the old characters. We were the nerds. We were the like, you know what I mean? There are so many different things. I was always either gay, a nerd, or old, or all three.
Yeah. I'm all of those things right now.
Oh, fully. Fully. So
I am living every single stereotype.
Yeah.
That there is. No, here's the thing is I will say when I was in my early 20s, I did date someone with a significant age difference. And here's what I will say. And she was in her 40s and I made a rule from that relationship, and it's never date someone with a 6-pack. And let me tell you why. Anyone with a 6-pack, they're spending too much time on something that really doesn't matter. And I'm sorry, I just don't care. And oftentimes value things that I don't value. So for me...
By the way, if you have a six-pack, don't call Brooke, but call me.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like a nice 4-pack is fine. But someone, she was just so obsessed with her body and so obsessed with appearance that for someone like me that has such an addictive personality and really likes to as a people pleaser on top of that, really just was not good for my mental health either. Oh, and she was like super controlling and abusive. But that had less to do with her age and more to do with her 6-pack.
Oh, girl. Something you said just really resonated with me, which is one of the best things about getting older, because we do want to keep it positive on the dish. One of the best things about getting older is I feel like I'm in a way better relationship with myself. Like, I can hear myself much better now. Yeah. And so, like, last year I was like, wow, anxiety is a real thing. And I took my mental health seriously. And, like, I tried anxiety medication. It's been going fabulously, you know? And just to use an example of, like, traveling, because I just did that recently because I was visiting yo ass. When I was flying back home, before, like, the old me would have been like, oh, let's wear something cute to travel. Let's pack nothing, like nothing to keep us distracted or feeling good, or you know, I would have wore like, you know, chunky heel combat boots on a plane, and I have no leg room because I'm over 6 feet tall. So like just the worst decisions. Right. And this time, I packed water, I packed an eye mask, I packed earplugs, I packed things to keep me like occupied on the plane. I made sure that I was fed, watered, went to the bathroom, comfy clothes, nothing like restricting on the body. Because if I have any kind of, you know, if anything's tight on your body in a tight claustrophobic environment, you're going to feel restrained and panicked. You know what I mean? And that took some time to figure out. But also, I think you just get to a point in your life where you're like, I'm going to take care of me. And that is priority number one right now. Yeah. All the other stuff comes second.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely like, I can't wear like anything tight on a plane too because I like bloat. I feel like my body like really holds on to everything. So like things that would fit me normally, I get off the plane and I'm like, I feel like a turducken. I'm just like, you know, it was an interesting relationship. I learned so much so quickly, but one of the things is that you really have to watch. I think one of the things that she didn't do for me was the Dan Savage campsite rule.
Oh,
you know, which is to leave it better than you found it. And I think there is an extra, I think everyone has that responsibility. But I think if you have significantly more life experience, regardless of your age, the responsibility on the person with more life and relationship experience, the onus is a little bit more. Because I think if you have that, you should just people to people, karma to karma pass that on. And that's where I think it gets tricky, right? Okay, so, my type is younger guys or younger girls or younger people, right? But I kind of am moving in a way where, hey, if this is everyone's first romantic experience with me or second, you know, adult romantic experience with me, I do owe them a little bit more. Because again, you know what I mean? I think there is an element of education and learning that if you're both in if you're both in your early 20s and never been in a relationship, you know, you're both going to kind of be hot messes when the breakup or whatever. But, you know, I don't know. I know that isn't always true, but I think about that a lot.
I know what you're saying because I think so you have to feel like both people are invested in building the trust relationship. So that's on both people, right? And I would do a brief callback to the ouch oops paradigm, which is like there's responsibility in both parties to say, hold on a second, I'm having some feelings about something you just said or some feelings about what you did. And so I feel like we need to work through that. And I need you to acknowledge it so we can work through it so that we can use it as a growth moment, right? Rather than just have it be like, oh, you ignored me and now I feel not safe, right?
Right.
But I agree with you that if you are in a, there is a bit of a power dynamic that comes with age. And so this might be a little too strong. So push back, girl, if you think this is too strong. If you feel like you're in a relationship with someone and you have, especially someone who's older, and you feel the sense that they might be manipulating you or have manipulative tendencies, they are. So like, watch out for that. Because not in my current relationship at all, but in previous relationships with people who are older, I was like, huh, that's a little odd. You know, I don't know if they had my best interests at heart. And looking back on it, I'm like, oh no, girl, they absolutely did not. Like, if I had talked to my younger self, I'd been like, get out, you know? Just watch out for that.
I don't think I would necessarily push back on you on that. What I would say is there are some people who would target younger people because they wouldn't catch on as soon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there are people out there that are going to say, I'm going to target less experienced individuals to be in relationship with because I know I can get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. When I was new on the scene, fresh on the scene, I was on some gay dating sites that I should not have been on. Just because they were complete meat markets, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't know what a meat market is, go to Urban Dictionary and figure it out. But it's
busy. We don't have that kind of time.
We need you to research, right? We're giving teacher vibes tonight, so do your homework. And I definitely, because when I was 18, I was like, okay, I'm frustrated that I haven't dated anyone before this point in my life.
Right.
I was hormonal. I was, you know, whatever. I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do this. You know, let's get some experience. Let's meet some people, whatever. And I discovered that I had this interest in older men, which can be a little dangerous if you're not experienced, you don't know what you're doing. So there were some thankfully I had a good sense of like safety and self-worth. I had enough of a sense of that where I was like, okay, this person's dangerous, you know, I'm not going to talk to that person. But then there's a lot of gray area where people are like, oh, you get sort of fetishized for being younger, and that's what you really have to watch out for. So that can be I think sometimes people are a little too far the other way, where they're like, oh no, I've been in conversations, right, where people don't know where I'm in a relationship with someone who's older than me, and they'll say things like, oh my god, that, you know, the guy is so much older than the girl, like he's taking advantage of her, or she's so much older than that. Of course, I'm heteronormative here, I'm defaulting to straight relationships, but people will have all of these ideas about what that means for someone to be a lot older or someone to be a lot younger in a relationship, and it's like, not always. You know?
No, and I think it's just important to also just kind of, you know, ask yourself, like, the fetishization thing is like such a real thing in so many relationships, right? Like, I think that's a good check for self. Like, I was talking with a friend of mine who's fat, and she's like, I had to literally like check on dates to make sure these guys weren't feeders, to make sure these guys actually like me for me.
Totally.
Like, she wouldn't eat on dates.
Oh my god.
At the first few.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you know, and, you know, folks weeded themselves out, but like, you know, the fetishization of whatever. Like, when I've dated men and they're like, oh, Todd, you're a lesbian. I'm like, no, that's not, no. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. People will fetishize anything.
I think the lesson today is.
Yeah. And that's not me trying to kink shame or to yuck somebody else's yum, but I'm just here to tell you.
Fetishization with consent is fine.
Yeah, I'm just here to tell you, if you are in any marginalized identity, people will fetishize you. And it's really frustrating, but it's just like, that's not news to anybody who occupies a marginalized identity. That's just the world, right? And
like, you fetishize tractor salesmen. But they know it. They know it.
I do fetishize.
Sorry, I just sent a text because Penny is whining and wants to leave the room. Because Penny hates the dish.
Penny's trapped in her office.
She's trapped. She's trapped.
Oh.
Go, you fat loaf.
Poor thing. Oh, I love her. I love her sweet dumb face.
She misses you. She misses your nails.
Yeah, she likes getting scratched.
Oh,
it was so nice to have an extra few hours with her.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. No, girl, you know, closing advice, if you have a thing for people and there is a significant age difference. Like, if your type is older or younger, right? Like, if your type is not as close to your age as acceptable within the consent laws, for the record, y'all. Don't be fucking weird about it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But if you are in a intergenerational or just in a relationship.
Oh
with
yes, an
difference,
intergenerational partnership.
Yeah, I would, or not even one that is that's that much of a difference, but including those, I would just say like look out for the age difference being a reason that you are it shouldn't be the sole reason that you're attracted to somebody, and it also shouldn't be an excuse for any behavior, because there is a bit of a power dynamic in it, or there can be. And so like for me the gold standard is, do we have things that we have in common that we can talk about? You know, do we share, and even more important than like interests, like, oh, we both like macrame. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, do we both experience emotional vulnerability in the same ways? Like, do we understand the way each of us feels fulfilled and respected and all those things? Yeah. And if anything does not feel right and you feel like you have your age being thrown in your face, or like you find yourself throwing their age in their face, then that's probably something to it's a red flag, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, it's like it's not as different as you would think it would be.
Right.
That's all.
No, I totally agree. My closing advice is, if you are dating someone who's incredibly youthful, like I am, and I am very confident that I will look like her stepmother in 10 to 12 years, it's going to be really great for me. Invest in a night cream.
Invest in a night cream. Brooke invested in a night cream for me. That was her birthday gift.
I did. We love a night cream here on The Dish. We are not sponsored yet. And
stay tuned.
Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. So let's talk about our shows in Columbus, girl, before we close out.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about our shows.
Up?
I'm so glad that you asked, Brooke. So in just a week and a half's time, you'll have 2 opportunities to see Covered Dish in person in Columbus, Ohio. So on Friday night, which is the 25th of March, I'm going to put myself on the dish cam for this because Brooke went
Wait
off.
a minute. Oh! On the dish cam.
Oh my God. We're flipping the dish cam for Juno tonight.
Hey, he got groomed.
Such a handsome boy.
He's a handsome loaf. He's so excited for the Dish Live. Okay, you go on the dish cam.
He looks so much happier than he usually does. Like, he's like licking his chops. He's having a great time.
Yeah, because he likes to eat Penny's food.
Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. Yes, that's happening.
All right. Dish cam.
All right, dish cam time. So, you can come and see us Friday the 25th at District West for Covered Dish Live Traffic Jam Edition. Just Jack. Where you can like experience the traffic jams of old at Wall Street. Go back to 2008. Get yourself a red, a yellow, and a green. Get all of the glow wristbands.
Get yourself a cherry bomb. Enjoy the heartburn.
Oh, a cherry bomb. Just play S&M by Rihanna.
And Bulletproof by LaRue.
Yeah. Starships by Nicki Minaj. I mean, go in.
Oh my God. They loved that song Some Nights by Fun. Remember that?
Oh, I hate Fun. I mean, the artist, not the activity.
Always. I just hate Fun.
I just hate Fun. And that's age.
And that's hip-hop.
Yeah, so that's Friday night. And then Saturday night, we're going to be at the Vanderelli Room for a show called That's Not My Name. Popular song by the Ting Tings. But it is a fundraiser for the Trans-Ohio Name Change Fund, and we're going to have lots of resources there and information about how the name change process works. We're going to be raising money for the name change process, and we're going to have comedy and burlesque, so it's going to be super fun and super sexy. So
quick
go ahead
note,
and bookmark next weekend because you're busy, babe. You're coming to see us.
You have to ask yourself in your relationship with us what show fits our friendship. So you make the choice.
By the way, one of the correct answers is both.
Yes. It's either A, Friday night, B, Saturday night, or C, both. Or D, we delete your number. There's not a lot of other options. We love you. We can't wait to see you next week. We'll be back on The Dish.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to talk more next week about our shows. We absolutely would love to have you there. If you have any questions, please message us on IG. The links are live on Cover Dish on our page on Facebook, as well as on our IG, as well as our personal IGs, as well as our personal Facebooks. There's no reason. Both events are on Eventbrite. Buy your tickets in advance. They're cheaper in advance. And we will see you next weekend. But before that, we will see you Tuesday at 7 and every Tuesday at 7 on Les Dish.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that Cover Dish. And if you're still hungry, we'll be back next week. Bye, babies. Do your homework.
Bye.